Hello everyone, this is Satya Prakash. Welcome to Coding Knowledge. And in this session, we talk about a look into group by clause in SQL Server. And there is few examples I will demonstrate here by understanding grouping group by clause in SQL Server and its implementation. So I would like to talk about few points in this agenda. So there is few points there in this session, that is what is group by clause in SQL Server, and let's understand aggregate function in group by clause, error details without group by clause. If you omit group by clause, then what will happen, and grouping by multiple columns. If you mention a table and there you can mention the multiple column names in group by clause, and using multiple aggregate functions. So let's see what is group by clause in SQL Server. So group by clause is used to group a selected set of rows into a set of summary rows by the values of one or more columns. So it is used in conjunction with one or more aggregate functions. And there is few aggregate functions in group by clause, that is count, sum, average, minimum and maximum. So aggregate function is it counts total number of rows, and in sum it returns sum of column values, and in average it returns average of column values, and in minimum it returns minimum column value, and a maximum function it returns maximum column value. So let's understand these definitions by implementing few examples. So first point, we need to go flip to my SQL Server. So here I have created one new table, and before going through this session, please visit my previous video regarding SQL Server tutorial, and you can get this link in my description section. I recommend to visit the previous video session before going through this upcoming video session. So I have to created one table, that is selected star from TBL employee. If you execute this, you'll see here that there is few records, that is 10 records there, and I have added few columns, that is ID, name, gender, salary and city. If you want the script with its dummy value, then you can refer here. I'll show you what is the script of this table. Okay, now you can check here the script of this table. Only using the script you can create your table, but after seeing this record, you can get the whatever the dummy records here inserted here. This much only for create your table script for this session. So you can check here, you can refer the video and you can create of your own. And for table data, this much data I have created, 10 records you can see here. So you already have got the table script with its data. So you can refer here, inserted by in your database manually. Okay, now this is our table in this session, tbl_employee. So first point I need to discuss that let's get total salary I am paying within my organization. So here I have used aggregate function, that is sum. So let's see how to implement sum. So select star from, I just copy the first statement and I'll paste here. So I have used that sum aggregate function of I'll mention here salary column from tbl_employee. I just execute this. If you see here, that is the total salary of the columns, that is salary column. What are the values, that is total value. So here it is showing 48,250. So this is the total salary I am paying to my organization. So in this way we can use the sum aggregate function. So same second point is, let's get minimum salary I am paying within my organization. So here I have used function that is minimum min. So I just copy this and I will paste here. So if you mention for minimum salary, I will mention here min, and inside bracket I will mention the salary column. So it will give you the minimum salary I am paying to my organization. So I just execute this. So 1800 is my minimum salary I am paying to my organization. So next point is, that is the third point is, let's get maximum salary I am paying within my organization. So same thing, I will use max aggregate function. So I will mention here max aggregate function. Inside I will put my salary name from table and execute this. So this one the maximum salary, that is 9,800. I will give to my one of my employee in my organization. Okay, now fourth point is, let's get total salary to my employee. Let's get total salary. Okay, now in my previous statement here I have used that is max aggregate function for getting the maximum salary whatever I paying in my organization. So fourth point is, let's get total salary to my employees by city name. So here I group the data by city name, then sum the salary column name across the group. That's why we use the group by clause. So I just copy this statement here and paste here, and I want the by city name, that's why I mentioned the city column here, sum of salary, and from the table employee, and I will mention that is group by clause, group by city. So here I have used that is alias, that is as total EMP salary, because it will show the blank header. That's why I mentioned I'll show you if I not use this. So I will just execute this statement. So it is shown here, that is for Bhubaneswar city it is 9,960, for Delhi 21,490, for Mumbai it is 12,100, and for Pune it is 4,700. So in this way we can group the data by city name, then sum the salary column across the group. That's why we have used the group by clause. But in this column we have to mention some valuable column header. So I have mentioned that is alias here, that is total EMP salary. So if you execute this, so you see here city and whatever alias I have used, that is total EMP salary, and by city name. Okay, so in this way we can use the alias and group by clause. So here I have used the alias total EMP salary for getting the column header of column associated with the aggregate function. So here I group the records by city name, then sum the salary column names across the city name. So across the city name I have sum the salary value. So column name is salary. So across the city name, so according to city name we have calculated the total salary to given to my employee in my organization. So next, that is fifth point is, if you remove group by clause and execute the query, then see what happens. Okay, now I will remove this group by clause. If you execute this statement, see here you will get an error that is column tbl employee.ct is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either aggregate function or the group by clause. So this means whatever the city name we have used, we cannot use inside the sum value, sum aggregate function or the group by clause. That's why it throws an error. It is not contained in either an aggregate function or the group by clause. Okay, now in this way we can get the error without the group by clause if you use without a group by clause or aggregate function. So basically there is two conditions for using the group by clause. Either you will use the column value in using the aggregate function, or you can use the column name using the group by clause. So if these two conditions will be satisfied, then the group by clause will work, otherwise it will not work. First condition, you need to mention the column value in using the aggregate function, and second thing, you can use the column name using the group by clause. These two conditions should be satisfied for using the group by clause. Okay, now we already have discussed if you remove group by clause and execute query, you can see the error here. For there is an it is not either in aggregate function or the group by clause. Okay, now next point is, if you mention the column name in aggregate function which one is not numeric, and see what happens. Okay, so if I will copy this one and paste here, and I will just remove the city, and here I will remove the group by clause. If you mention the city name, city column here, and if you execute this, see here operand data type, that is nvarchar, is invalid for sum operator. So specially aggregate functions, if you use the aggregate function, this will only allow the data type that is numeric. So if you see here, if you right click and script as, and if you take a look at the table script, so you can see the salary column is a numeric, or you can mention the data type that is money, but I have mentioned here city. See here, city is data type is nvarchar 50, and for salary I have mentioned the money, that is a numeric. So that's why it throws an error, that is operand data type nvarchar is invalid for sum operator, that is city. You cannot use the that is non-numeric data type using the aggregate function. It throws an error, it should be numeric. Okay, and so my point number 7, that is next point, is let's grouping by multiple columns. So I just copy this and I will paste here. I just remove all these things, it's not required. So here I group the records by city name and gender, then sum the salary column across the city names and gender. So you'll see here, earlier we have grouped by only city, and for getting the total salary by city name, but as per the new requirement, I want the total salary by city name and gender. So if you mention gender, and here also group by, you will use the gender, otherwise you will get an error here. So just execute this. See here. Okay, now I will use this one alias. You can total salary. Okay, you see here, earlier we have used the alias as a single word, but here I have used the salary and give some space between them, That's why I mentioned inside brackets. Okay, now you can see here we have got the total salary by city name and gender. So I just remove this one. Okay, so I execute this. We got the total salary by city name and gender. So by city name it is Delhi. So total salary I am paying to this city name that is 6,900 and gender is female. So in this way we can get the, and for same Delhi for male we are providing salary that is 14,500 900. So in this way we can group the records by city name and gender, then sum the salary column across the city names and gender. Okay, so go to my point number 8. So okay, now here we check total salary and gender given to employee with city name that is Pune. Okay, now whatever I get here by group by clause, I just getting using a simple select statement and for filtering by city that is Pune. So we'll check here, we just copy one statement we don't need group by clause. So here I mentioned that is salary, city, name and gender from table employees, where city equal to Pune. If you check here for Pune, and okay, now I'll mention the salary. So I mentioned the salary part and I'll execute this. If you mention here 2,900 and another one is 1,800, so total is how much? 4,700. Okay, now if you execute this group by clause, here you will see for Pune and for gender male I am paying 4,700. So in this way we can divide the multiple select query and we can get the results using select statement for one by one. So in this way we can use the daily here and for getting total salary and the gender here. So daily is 2 male, 1 is female, and for male is total is 9,800 plus 4,790. If you execute this, see here in Delhi for male, that is Delhi male is 14,590, and if you execute this again, so we'll check the female part. So if female part, that is only 6,900. If you execute this group by clause, you will get only 6,900 here. So in Delhi city 6,900, only one female is there. Okay, so let's here I will use, that is let's make the city in ascending order, so that I use the order by clause. So I will mention order by city. So if you execute this, you will see here city is in ascending order: B, Bhubaneswar, Delhi, Delhi, Mumbai, Pune. Okay, so if you want to know the where clause and order by clause, I recommend you to watch my previous videos. So in this way we can examine our group by clause. Even it shows the appropriate total salary by city names or gender. You can get this result by using simple select statement using where clause. If you want by gender, you can mention gender column. If you want name, by name column, and you can examine the group by clause here by for getting the appropriate results or not. Okay, so next one is my point number 9. So in this, let's change order column names in group by clause and see what happens. So I'll just change the order by, here I mentioned one, first is city, second salary, total salary is alias, and gender is the next one. I just want to change the order. First I will use here, that is gender, and second is city, then total salary, and I just remove the gender part here. Okay, now same thing I will use this in group by clause using same order. So if you execute this, so there is no problem at all for calculating the data or records or calculating total salary by city name and gender. So first is gender part, second one is city part, then salary. So there is no problem if you change the order in a group by clause. That works fine. Okay, now our next point is point number 10. So in this point, let's get total number of employees with total salary by city and gender column names using multiple aggregate functions. So for total employees in organization, what we will do here, we just execute one query. I just remove this part. So I just remove this part also, and here I'll use that is count of ID. It gives us the total employees in our organization. Total employees. So our total employees is 10. There is 10 rows there. That's it shows here. That's one row is affected. There is 10 rows there. That's why there is 10 records, and for getting total employees, we need to use the count aggregate function, and here I mentioned the ID column. So it gives us the total number of employees in our organization. Okay, now we need to check here total number of employees with total salary by city and gender column names using multiple aggregate functions. So I just get my last select query here. So select gender, city, sum of salary as total salary, and here I'll mention one column, that is count of ID. Here I mention the alias part. Here I mention the total employee. Okay, now from table employees, so group by gender, city, and city, select gender comma city comma sum of salary as total salary, count of ID as total employees, from table name, the table underscore employees, group by gender comma city, and order by city. Let's execute this. So here you can get, that is total number of employees with total salary by city names and gender. Gender is male, city is Bhubaneswar, total salary is 9,960, and total number of employees that is 3, and gender is male. And same way for city name is Pune, and total salary is 4,700, and total employees is 2, and these 2 employees are female. So in this way we can get the total number of employees with salary city and total salary by city name and gender columns. So in this way we can use the multiple aggregate functions. That is one part I have used, that is sum of salary, and second part we have used, that is count of ID, for getting the total number of employees. Okay, now our final and last point, that is 11. In this part, let's use, that is average aggregate function. So average aggregate function, that is we'll get the average value of the column. So select and average of salary. So for getting average aggregate function, we need to mention that abg, and inside we mention the salary column for from table name, that is tbl underscore employee. So if you execute this, you'll get that is 4825. So it nothing but the total salary by total number of rows. Okay, total salary and total number of rows I'll show here how it is calculated, and how the APG aggregate function calculates the this value, that is ABG of average of salary. I'll show you that is total salary divided by total number of rows. So how to get the total salary? Select sum of salary from TBL employees, and here I'll execute this. See, this is the total salary is 40,250, and total number of rows how to calculate. So select count of ID from, okay, and I just remove from table name. So table name is table underscore employee. So here if you mention here, that is 10. So total salary is that is 48. I'll check. So total salary is 48,250, and total number of rows is 10. So here average of salary is 4,825. 4,825. That means its total salary, that is 4,850 by total number of rows. So if you put select here, if you execute this, see here 4825. So that's why average aggregate function work like this. Total salary by total number of rows. Okay, so I will execute this above statement using our average salary, and see what happens here. So I just remove the sum part. I will mention here average. So I'll execute this. Select gender comma city comma average of salary, and I'll just modify this alias name average salary, and count of ID as total employees, and from TBL employee, that is group by, I don't want the gender, only city I want. Just remove this gender part here, group by. I just execute this. So here we'll check for city Bhubaneswar, average salary is 3,320. So using this method, the average salary calculates the average salary using group by clause, and if you check here, average salary is 3,320 and total employees are 3. So in this way, Pune is average salary is 2,350 and total employees are 2. Okay, so we need to check that total salary for Pune and average salary for Pune. So we need to create one simple select statement here. Okay, now we don't want, okay, you select salary comma name comma gender from TBL employee, and where city equal to Pune. select salary name, gender from TBL employee where city name equal to Pune. We need to execute this. You see here there is two rows there, two as female and salary. One is 2,900, another one is 1,800. Okay, now if we check here for average salary of Pune using group by clause, that is 2,350. And here if you show here, that is total salary is 2,900 and another one 1,800. Total salary is 4,700. So total salary is 4,700 and average salary is, here you will get, that is 2,350. so that's nothing but sum of salary. Sum of salary will get here, that is okay. Now I'll mention here sum of salary, that is for Pune. Sum of salary, if you mention sum of salary here, I'll just copy this, I'll paste inside bracket. We'll execute this. Sum of salary name, okay. Now we cannot use this, we just calculate, right? So here total salary is for Pune is 4,700 and average salary is for Pune is 2,350. so how it is possible? So 2,350 and it is total salary is 4,700 and for Pune there is only two rows. Okay, now you see here total two rows is there. So if you mention here 2 and execute this, you'll get the average salary for Pune. Average salary for Pune is 2,350. so you'll get here, that is average salary for Pune is 2,350. so in this way we can see here for daily how much. Okay, now for daily it is total salary. I will check here for total salary is, for daily total salary is 21,490 and here I'll put the average, and if you execute this, so daily is 7,163. so if you mention here, that is total salary and how many rows is there, total number of rows. If you execute this, you will get the total number of rows. Total number of rows is 3. so if you mention here 3, so for daily you will get the average salary. So here you will get the average salary, that is 7,163. so if you execute this, you will get the same result, that is 7,163. so in this way we can calculate the salary using different aggregate functions, using multiple grouping columns, using multiple aggregate functions, and also we can examine this group by clause by using the simple select statement using where clause, and calculate whether this average salary or sum of the average salary or sum of salary are appropriate or not. so in this way, whatever described, this is average salary, this is called sum part, and this is called the total rows. so in this way we can get the average functions, and using the group by clause or using your select statement. so specially we have used this statement for average salary part. so here average salary for daily, that is 7,163 3 employees. That means it is nothing but total number of rows. So if you get here daily part, there is total number of rows is there. So this is called total salary, and this is called total number of rows for daily. So if you execute this, you'll get the average part, that is 7163.33, and using group by clause you will get the same result for daily location, that is daily 7163.33, and total number of employees, nothing but total number of rows, that is 3. So that's all about our practical session for this topic, and here we'll flip to our presentation for few getting definitions ideas. So go to my presentation here. Okay, now we'll check here, that is what is group by clause. So group by clause is used to group a selected set of rows into a set of summaries rows by the values of one or more columns and expressions. It is used in conjunction with one or more aggregate functions. So you can use here multiple groupings using group by clause, or you can use multiple aggregate functions using group by clause. So aggregate functions in group by clause, that is count function, it counts total number of rows. Sum function, it returns sum of column values, that is total number of salaries you already have got in previous part and previous earlier in our previous query part. So in using avg function, it returns average of column values. Using minimum function, it returns minimum column value, and for maximum it returns maximum column value. So these are the aggregate functions, important aggregate functions we already have discussed with few examples. So this is my YouTube channel, Coding Knowledge. Here you need to subscribe and share it for getting up-to-date knowledge on .NET Core, SQL Server, Azure, and Angular, SQL Server, and that is Bootstrap. And also you can get the interview related ebook. You'll get the link in my description section, and you can download the PDF and prepare for your interview, that is .NET Core and Bootstrap interview questions. I'll recommend to download this ebook, that is PDF version, and getting prepared. And this interview, whatever interview questions and answers are discussed in this ebook, that's all about related to real-time scenario. You will face the interview questions by the interviewers. So in this part we have learned few below details, that is what is group by clause in SQL Server, and let's understand aggregate functions in group by clause, and what are the error details without group by clause. If you don't use the group by clause by the column name, then what will happen? It shows an error that the column name you have mentioned using including the aggregate function, this column name should be inside aggregate functions or using group by clause. So especially there is two conditions for group by clause. Either it should be used in the aggregate function, or you can use and you use using the group by clause. So these two conditions should be satisfied for group by clause, otherwise you'll get an error. So you can use the grouping by multiple columns. So we have learned using multiple aggregate functions, that is one is total number of salary and total number of employee. So that's it for today. Thank you for listening and have a great day.